This review is sponsored by Yinchi, the new strategy game from Spielworks. Pre-order it from the 3rd of February at spielworks.de.
From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review.
Quiver Time Card Case. What a useless word hobby is. It doesn't encapsulate the sweaty obsession that descends on you when you discover something new. How this new focus eats up so much of your time, what with the YouTube videos and the trips to the shops and the websites and the endless thought. It can be like falling in love without all the swollen bits. It fires those same receptors in the brain. For a time, it becomes this thing that can become all-consuming. And just like love, it can last a lifetime or fade after a few months. My brother has had interests, another vapid word, throughout his life, and these have followed the pattern of obsession and fade that so marks the fickle human attention span. We dip in and out of each other's lives. He's 17 years older than me, and so there is a generation dividing us. So I don't see the transitions, but only catch him when he's in the midst of some new fever, whether it be weightlifting or Star Trek or his current love, golf. The thing itself can often appear to be subsumed by the ancillary, the things that orbit the hobby rather than the thing itself. This can be golf ball cleaners or portraits of Jean-Luc Picard or magazines filled with strangely lacquered men, all veins and disquieting speedos. Sometimes looking through others makes us reflect on ourselves. It's only when we see the same behaviour exhibited by another that we realise that we are guilty of the same indulgence. Thinking about the tons of ephemera that my brother has collected throughout his various pursuits has made me look at my own slightly potty corner of the world. I got into gaming in 2012 as it seemed the tide was rising, and it's been encroaching on the shoreline ever since. This explosion in popularity has led to a profusion of digital and tactile pilot fish breeding and circling the main beast of games. Gaming has become a fully fledged pursuit with a plethora of different things to aid and distract us from actually doing the thing itself. There are inserts and dice towers and videos and incredibly informative and touching bi-weekly interview podcasts. And there are bags. They may have been rechristened as transport solutions or mobile shelving enhancers, but fundamentally they're bags, containers of fabric or leather that you carry your games around in. I've eschewed the temptation to hemorrhage my money on most of these things, but I've had slightly unquieting feelings for a while now about one of these bags. It has been tickling my acquisitional gland for a while, and so the other day I thought sod it and bought one of the things. This was the Quiver card carrying case. Card games have accompanied through my life, and the new vistas that opened when I got into this hobby have encouraged me to constantly hike into the world of designer card games and fill boxes and boxes with the things. Card games offer such a breadth of experience in such a small geographical area, and such a variety that you're almost guaranteed an engrossing diversion every time you pull one out. That's why I wanted a Quiver so much. I wanted to have those experiences at the other end of a zip pull. The Quiver card case is a solution for carrying your card game that frankly boggles the mind. It's a TARDIS of a bag that can hold at least 10 card games. It's padded to protect the cards and comes with dividers, and there's netting in the lid to hold counters or rulebooks. Don't get me wrong here. The Quiver won't give you a massage or tell you deserve happiness. It's only a bag. But what a bloody bag. I've managed to put 12 games into it with their tokens and rulebooks, and it holds them beautifully. It's velvet lined, with padding at the end so your cards are protected, and dividers are included so you can quickly identify which game is which. You look like a dork carrying it around your neck like an archer, but that's fine, as we're all dorks now. So leave the house with it strapped on, and you'll get admiring coos and coquettish winks. I put a tweet out the other day asking if I should bite the bullet on this thing, and the responses were so positive that they were frankly cultish. But after only a couple of days, I feel like shaving my head, buying a glittery robe, and pledging 80% of my income to the Church of Quiver because I'm converted. If you like card games and want to bring them to the world, then a Quiver is indispensable. There's so much clutter in the world, so much useless production just to fill the massive holes in our spirits. But the Quiver doesn't fit into that category. It's by no means necessary, but it has such a wonderful utility that I would be hugely surprised if you were to regret buying one. I'm very sensitive to the weight of my possessions. It brings me torment to be surrounded by stuff, and the Quiver has helped me consolidate and look even more like a dork, if that were possible. This review has been made possible by the donations of my patrons. You can become one too at patreon.com/5G4D. And in these winter months, if you feel chilly and fashion challenged, you can also buy a rather fetching 5 Games for Doomsday t-shirt or hoodie with the 5 Games for Doomsday fleeing man on the front. To see these, you can go to tpublic.com/user/5 Games for Doomsday. And you might just look like the most fashionable person in the world.